Alright, so I'm finally here with my Prank Kids deck profile for the May 2019 format. This profile took a long time because I didn't have all the cards for the deck. I still don't have all the cards, but I'm just using proxies for now. So this deck, like I said, is for the May 2019 format, so keeping up with all the balance changes. This deck I find is really fun and it's something neat to play, but in my honest opinion, it's really tricky if you're starting out with the deck, and it's a little overwhelming to learn. So anyways, just getting with the profile. Starting off, we have 3 Fansies, 3 Dropsies, 3 Lampsies, and 3 Roxies. These are your staple ratios for the deck. You need to play all these monsters at 3 because you want to see them as quickly as you can. Chances are if you don't play them at 3, you're probably a Chamberlain player. Then run 3 Ash Blossoms for the hand traps. Now Ash Blossom's always been a really good card since it came out, and especially in this deck since this is a going first deck. It can help you disrupt your opponent's plays on their next turn. So that's all the monsters I have for this deck. Next up with the spells, we play 3 Prank Kids Place. This card's really good because it on resolution of this card, you can search any Prank Kids monster in your main deck. Also, when you're fusion or link summoning, it helps you chain block. So, if you fusion summon into like Rocky Ride, and you have this on the field, you go, okay, chain link 1 first material, chain link 2 the second material, chain link 3 place, and the other player can't respond to your previous activations other than Prank Kids Place. So of course, we need to see this as much as we can. So run 2 Terraforming. Next up, one of my proxies, 3 Prank Kids Pandemonium. This is the archetypal fusion card. You need as much of this because you want to go into it as much as you can in order to make the fusion place. So we got 3 Prank Kids pranks. This is usually good if you don't have a great hand, but you do have a Prank Kids monster in this. You just discard a Prank Kids card and make a token, normal summon the monster. Link summon, there you go, you got your combos going. Also at the end phase, this can target 3 Prank Kids in your graveyard. Like, you can target 3 Prank Kids in your graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 1 card. Now this isn't limited to monsters. This also includes spells or traps, but for the most part you don't want to shuffle in any of your traps. Next, because this deck is fragile and loses to a good amount of disruption, run 3 Called by the Grave for protection against any other hand traps. 3 Instant Fusion, because Instant Fusion plus Prank Kids monster is a combo. 3 Poly for those plays when you want to go into more than just the Prank Kids extra deck monsters. Like if you want to fusion summon into the Prank Kids fusion and go into the link, and then still be able to make something else outside of the Prank Kids archetype, you can use polymerization. For card draw, we do 2 Desires and Upstart. I'd want to run 3 Desires, but at the same time I'm scared of banishing any of my monsters because there are only 12 Prank Kids monsters in this deck, so you need to see them as much as you can. No point banishing them off 10. So that's why I'm running 1 Upstart. I feel like this is a good amount of card draw. If you want to add the 3rd Desires, you 100% can, but this is just my ratio, what I found to be good. That's all the spells in the deck. Now for the traps, 2 Prank Kids Plan. That's it. So with Plan, if you have it in your hand and you set it, it's like Pandemonium, but you link summon on your opponent's turn. But this card's best when it's in the grave, because when your opponent declares an attack on one of your Prank Kids monsters, shuffle as many Prank Kids from your graveyard into your deck and reduce the damage of the attack. So if you want to protect your monster on the field, this is a good protection for this. You usually want to dump this in the graveyard with Fansies. So that's my main deck. Going on to the extra deck, we have play 2 Rocket Ride and 2 Weather Washer. These cards are like, you 100% want to play these cards. These cards are one of the best cards in the Prank Kids deck because these are all level 5 fusions. You can get them off, instant fusion and all that. So Rocket Ride is when it enters the battlefield, you could make it attack directly, but loses 1,000 damage, 1,000 attack. And with Weather Washer, if Prank Kids monster attacks, the opponent can't activate card effects until the end of the damage step. So that's all fine and dandy. But where this really shines is with Rocket Ride. You can tribute him to target 2 Prank Kids non-fusion monsters in your graveyard, special summon him. And Weather Washer does this but on your opponent's turn, and with Weather Washer, when you do this, they can't be destroyed by battle. So next up, this is my personal choice. You don't need to do this. I run 2 Prank Kids Battle Butler. Now this is what I believe to be the big boss monster of the deck. You fusion summon this on your opponent's turn. It's a 3,000 beater. It's a Raigeki on legs, and whenever it's destroyed by opponent's card, target a non-fusion monster in my graveyard and special summon it. So you can already tell this is a really good card. You don't need to run more than 1, but I felt like if I can make this on my opponent's turn, blow it up, and then I get my turn next. If I still want to make this card for big damage, then I'm able to. Except that's all for the fusions. For the links, play 2 Dodo Doodle Doo, 2 Bow Wow Bark. So Dodo Doodle Doo, when it's link summoned, you can add a Prank Kids spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So you usually want to add Pandemonium, the fusion spell, but if you don't want to, or you already have Pandemonium in your hand, you can add the field spell. Bow Bark is any Prank Kids monster this card points to gains 1,000 attack. Now these cards have very similar effects to Rocket Ride, except instead of special summoning, they add monsters to hand. So these 2 target 2 Prank Kids non-link monsters in your graveyard, add them to your hand. This one does the same, but on your opponent's turn. Now with the big link, run 1 Prank Kids Ripborn monster. Don't really need to say much about this. 3,000 beater. It's a Harpy's Feather Duster on legs. It's a good card. Now for the non-archetypal card link monster, we got 1 Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Unicorn is also good to run this, but I like to use Phoenix because it doesn't cost so much, and it can get rid of any problematic spell or trap your opponent runs. Like if you somehow happen to run to Altergeist, get rid of Secret Village. Mystic Mine Burn, get rid of the Mystic Mine. I think, maybe I haven't read Mystic Mine yet. You can do all sorts of good things with the Nightmare cards. Except for the XZs, we run 1 Totally Awesome because you can make this with 2 Dropsies because Dropsies is a level 2 Aqua. So this is good to make turn 1. Abyss Dweller because Salamangreat is probably the best deck, and when you Dweller them turn 1, they can't really do much. And Dark Rebellion XZ Dragon for the help with the OTK. I would definitely cut this for Borreload or Boral Sword Dragon if you could. So that's all my extra deck. I do have a side deck. For the side deck, we run 3 Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Okay, this card is, for a common, it's really insane. So it's a Cyber Dragon, 2600 attack. That's usually good for going second, but also tribute Dino Wrestler monster. Usually you want to tribute Pankratops. And target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. This is really good, just like Phoenix. This is really good for getting rid of some of your problematic cards. Next up, some hand traps in the side. 3 effect veiler for in a matchup against, like, say Thunder Dragon, you veil her their Colossus or their Titan. That somewhat helps you with breaking their board. So we run then 2 Droll and Lockbird. Pretty self-explanatory. If you're going against like Endymion, I think Striker, Salamangreat easily. This card locks him out. That's all for the monsters in the side deck. For the spells in spell and traps in the side deck, we've got 2 Super Poly, good for going second, opponent can't respond. 2 Twin Twisters for going against back row heavy decks. Little neat tech. 3 Shared Ride, because when you're going against Thunder Dragon, this is basically a Max C on a stick. Activate it every time your opponent adds a card from deck to hand. You draw a card. So yeah, this is really good for getting card advantage while it's the other person's turn. Like if they're playing Salamangreat or the Thunder Dragon. So yeah, that's all. That's my deck profile. I've been playing this deck for a while. I find it to be really fun. So thank you for watching. Maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe, and see you later.